What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga news update. So in today's video, I'm of course going to be talking about new details on the story, as well as the characters and the open world. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so I wanted to start off by clearing something up, because there seems to be a lot of confusion online around how TT Games are adapting the story this time around. As in one of my previous videos, I talked about how there'll be 45 missions in total, as all 9 episodes will be split into 5 levels, with each being around 10 to 15 minutes long, so they will only concentrate on the key parts of the story, such as boss battles and vehicle sections, like the descent into the core of the Planet of Naboo in the Phantom Menace, and the duel on Mustafar with Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith. Now, what you need to understand is that the scenes that won't be represented in the levels will instead be played through on the respective planet or ship where they were based in the films, such as Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan's arrival on the Trade Federation ship in Episode 1. So you're definitely going to experience everything that happens in the movies. It's just going to be split between the levels and the hub worlds, but for the first time ever, it's all going to be fully realized in 3D, so it probably won't even feel like you're jumping from a level to a hub world anymore, as it will all be experienced with the same camera angle. TT Games really aren't pulling any punches, as game director James McLoughlin has said that it is the biggest game that the company has ever made. Yes, even bigger than LEGO Dimensions. In more story related news, one other cool thing that has been revealed is that the levels will now feature challenge points, which will essentially act as mid-level achievements, as there is now more than one way to go about completing a level. So for example, if you're fighting a boss, you could force push boxes at them, or maybe you could use the force to drop them down a hole, or you could just pull down a trapdoor. So you're basically rewarded for playing around with the environment, which I personally think is a really cool addition to the game, because it will give the player more of a reason to keep coming back and replaying the levels. Next up, during a recent interview with Electric Playground Network, James McLoughlin gave a quest example by saying that you could help out Amidala, and he was of course referring to Princess Amidala, meaning that Padme is confirmed, which is great news, and I'm sure she'll be playable in a variety of different outfits in this game. Now, in other character related news, we have new details on C-3PO, because previously I talked about how you can play as just his body or his legs, which I originally thought was the result of him being attacked, but now we know that it's actually an option, so if you want C-3PO to fall apart at the click of a button, you can absolutely do that. We also now know more about Force abilities. Remember that Bantha which the player forced to dance using the Jedi Mind Trick Ability? Well, apparently he also made it sing, which is just another great example of that classic LEGO humor. However, some people are also reporting that you can apparently use the Force to pilot multiple objects into what can only be described as a Katamari-like ball, which you can then force push into a group of stormtroopers, which is just insane, and just goes to show that TT Games are really going all out with the Force abilities in this game. The AI in this game has also been completely redone, as this time around, depending on who you're playing as, each fight will play out differently. So for instance, the reaction you get from enemies when you're playing as a Force user like Luke Skywalker will be completely different to the way that enemies react to a blaster wielding character like Han Solo. And last but most certainly not least, James Burgon, who is the associate producer at TT Games, has elaborated more on what we can expect to see from the game's open world. So we already know quite a lot about the planet of Tatooine in this game. However, James has also now revealed 2 other really cool things, one of which is that you might come across a hilarious encounter with a Jawa where you see him tinkering with a speeder bike before zooming off a cliff. The other thing, however, is a lot more exciting, because as well as random space battles, we also now know that Tatooine will feature Random Tusken Raider Attacks, as Jamie has revealed that they're always coming for you in this game, which I personally really hope means that the encounters are unlimited and don't disappear even after 100% completion, because that would just make them perfect. James McLoughlin has also revealed more about the Star Destroyer encounters. Now, I believe you can actually ignore these random events, but if you were to participate in them, your first objective would be to take out a certain amount of TIE fighters, then you would have to take down the shields, and finally wipe out the Star Destroyer, so you can single-handedly take down that entire ship and just watch it explode, which I'm going to find very difficult to get boring. And seeing as how we can actually fly inside of the Star Destroyer and fully explore the interior, I'd love it if there was also a way to blow it up from the inside. Maybe you have to destroy the reactor, run back to your ship, and get to a safe distance before the timer runs out, kind of similar to Battlefront 2 on the PS2. Now, going back to the random encounters, you'll actually only run into enemies that make sense for the episode that you're currently playing, so you wouldn't, for example, see any of the First Order during Episode 1, and I really hope that no matter how far you are, whether you just completed all of the stories, or even 100% the entire game, I'd love it if there was always a way to going back to being able to free roam during a specific era, especially for the planets that feature in multiple films like Tatooine. James Burgon has also now confirmed that Jakku from Episode 7 The Force Awakens is another one of the many planets planets that you'll be able to freely explore in this game, which is awesome news. And there will be 500 Kyber Bricks scattered across these planets, which you can then collect as currency and spend on upgrades for your vehicles. Now, according to PlayStationEnthusiast.com, their E3 gameplay demo actually ended with a trailer that showcased a variety of the hub worlds that we already know about. But as well as this, they also showcased one new one, which was of course Canto Bight, the city that Finn, Rose Tico, and BB-8 traveled to in Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So with that news, plus the Jakku confirmation, we now know of 14 of the confirmed planets that you'll be able to explore in this game. However, James McLoughlin has also said that they wanted to cover planets from the films that no one has ever covered before. So who knows, maybe we'll also see some of the planets that you just get a glimpse of during the Order 66 scene from Episode 3. Lastly, the trailer also apparently showed the Galactic City, which is of course another section of Coruscant. So hopefully the Uscru District will be set at night, while the Galactic City will be explorable in the daytime, as that would really help set it apart from the other planets in the game and just give us a more varied environment to explore. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video, so I want to thank you all very much for watching, and if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest news on LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, then please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.